Hello, all you lovely people. My name's Stonesy Boy, and welcome back to Reading with Stonesy. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Nice little background and foreground and A ground and B ground. Now, originally I was gonna do Thunderhead, but honestly, what I think I need to do is I need to finish up the I need to finish up the FNAF series more than anything. I have the full series, and I'm just twiddling around it, trying not to read it. It's a fast series. Don't know why I don't just finish it. You know. Hope y'all enjoy the new intro, outro, and background. If y'all want to know how to make that background, I actually posted. It should be coming out today. Um, of how to make that background. It's kind of silly, pretty funny, and I think I had a ton of fun recording and editing it. Um, and yeah. All right. Just so I don't break my time, without further ado, let's begin. Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Fright number 8, Gumdrop Angel by Scott Cawthon and Adria Wagner. The Gumdrop Angel. Angel opened her eyes and saw nothing. Darkness. Had she gone blind? She tried to blink, but she found she couldn't. Was she even worse off now than before? She felt weak and heavy. Her body ached. Angel raised her hands and tried to rub her eyes, but clear the gunk from them. But her hands whacked against something hard. Trying not to panic, she groped around to figure out what she hit. She felt was wood. Flat, smooth, unrelenting wood surrounding her. She was in some kind of box, a very small box. Angel tried to scream, but her mouth wouldn't work properly. She began writhing her body, flailing her limbs, but it did no good. She just kept banging against the box. She was trapped. She felt very strange, woozy, like she was going to pass out. Why was this happening to her? Angel really wished she had earplugs, and nose plugs, and blinders. No, skip all that. Angel really wished there was an ability to teleport. Yeah, that would be good. If she could teleport, she could just instantly go somewhere place else. But first, she'd have to be invisible so she would get away with teleporting. Or maybe she could have superpowers so she could just obliterate everything that was there. No, that might be a little extreme. Teleporting would be good enough. Where would she go? Pretty much anywhere but here. A landfill, a sewer, the most dangerous part of town. She could think of a million horrible places that would be an improvement through her current situation. After all, what could possibly be worse than here? Angel and her family were in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and there was a place on Earth that was more like hell than this. Angel didn't know about it. Freddy's had bad enough on its own. A relentlessly bright and cheery place with decor in strictly primary colors, and a headache-inducing black and white checkered board floor, and then you added the children. No, not just children, amped up children. Crazed, overexcited, peeing in the ball pit, puking in the arcade children. Not much was worse than the few dozen little kids having a birthday party with obnoxious mix and miserable topped with "shoot me now." The Angel looked around, and she had to admit that some of her distaste, all right, maybe all of it, could have been related to envy and resentment. Her birthday had been the month before, and no one had thrown her a party of any kind. Maybe at some point in Angel's life, she could have appreciated a kid's birthday party. Theoretically, she could have liked having her own birthday party here and when she was little. When she was sure she had a party, she wouldn't have been as loud and insufferable as the kids in Freddy's were. She would have been happy, yes, but she would have been graceful about it. At least, she liked to think so. But then again, she never get to test that theory. Seeing her as her dad, not in her current pathetic excuse for a stepdad, but her biological father, equally pathetic apparently, left when she wasn't even walking yet, her mother had been both the moneymaker and the full-time parent. During those years, their mom had disappeared into her job, while somehow staying in a constant state of broke. There was just never enough money for things like birthday parties. Now that Angel's mom had married Miron, aka Call Me Dad, no thank you very much, parties like this were in the budget. But well, Angel was older and so ostentatious displays of birthday frivolity. And come on, it was just a little kid's birthday, honestly important enough to spend thousands of dollars on balloons, pizza, soda, cake, candy, and presents? No way! It was a waste of resources. That money could have brought Angel a car or paid tuition for the performing arts college she wanted to attend. Thankfully, Angel had qualified for a student loan based on her mom's low income in the last year before she married Myron. But Angel shouldn't have had to get financial help, not when Myron could be more afford to pay her way. She never did call him Dad, but that was because it hadn't earned it. Wasn't a dad supposed to pay for his kid's education? Angel looked at the woman who had gotten her into this screwed up situation, her mother. Her weak, self-interested, gold-digging mother. If only her mother paid half as much attention to her daughter as she did her own looks. Still reasonably young, Angel's mom had bouncy, short blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and a face she spent thousands of dollars a year to keep pretty. Forget homework help or mother-daughter dates. Angel's mom was too busy to spend half of the day working out or updating her wardrobe at the mall. And maybe Angel's mom would have been halfway decent if she had a good partner by her side. But then again, maybe not. Angel's mom wasn't exactly a paragon of patience or understanding. She also wasn't very good at cooking, cleaning, organizing, or planning. She didn't have a cool job like a film editor or fashion designer or talent agent from observing her friends' mothers. Angel thought these were the qualities that went into being a great mom. The qualities her mother had: an expert at improving her own looks, a whiz at makeup and clothes shopping, a world-class champion of flirting with men, a connoisseur of sleeping in, and a master of self-absorption to the point that she forgot anything not associated with her own happiness, did not make her good mom material. Behind Angel, a little girl squealed, hitting decibels that should have been illegal. Angel put her fingers in her ears. "Stop that," Angel's mother snapped. "You're 18, not 8. Oh, right. And that was her mother's other notable quality. Star of bowing to whatever man was paying for the bills at the time. The truth was that Angel's mom didn't like loud, screaming children any more than Angel did. But right now, she was playing the role of Myron's wife, and Myron's wife is the mother of a 5-year-old. This meant Angel's mom was pretend she was happy to be at this party, and part of that pretense was to chastise Angel for dropping the act. Angel rolled her eyes. Her mother was pathetic. So was Myron, and so was Ophelia. Myron's revolting daughter, the whole family was pathetic. Even Angel was pathetic because she had to be part of this family. She needed to get out of it. She'd come so close to surviving her childhood without facing a stepdad thing. The whole time she'd been growing up, her mother had been looking for the right husband and father. The right husband and father being one of them who had lots and lots of money. Angel had lost count of the number of men who had come and gone over the years. There'd always been some guy. Some of them had kids, some of them didn't. And when Angel had been dragged along on family dates, she had the comfort of knowing it was temporary. She didn't have to go home with the guy or the kids. But when her mom had met Myron, and Ophelia came with Myron. Who named a kid Ophelia? Ophelia was Hamlet's lover. A woman who had gone crazy because Hamlet was seemingly gone crazy. Did that seem like the best inspiration for a baby's name? Curious about Ophelia's name, Angel had looked up the meaning of it. Ophelia was a Greek name. She discovered it meant help, as in, help, I'm named after a traffic mental case. It made her laugh when she read that. She could only hear Ophelia's chirpy little kid voice saying it now. Speaking of annoying squeaky voice, "Didn't you want some pizza?" Ophelia asked Angel. Before Angel could answer, Ophelia said, "I'll share mine." And she pushed a slice of the foul-smelling excuse for pizza towards Angel's face. Angel hated Freddy's pizza. The sauce was way too much basil, which gave it the offensive smell and made it, as far as Angel was concerned, inedible. Ophelia missed Angel's mouth and smeared Angel's jaw with sauce. She could feel her hair sticking to it, too. Angel slapped Ophelia's hand. "Get that away from me!" And Ophelia's face crumpled. She jerked back and the pizza slice threw out of her hands, landing face down on Angel's chest, before sliding into her lap. Angel jumped up and pizza fell on the floor. She looked at the red stain in her good dreams. "You little brat!" she yelled at Ophelia. Ophelia's chin quivered. Tears spilled from her eyes. "I just wanted to share." "Don't yell at your sister," Angel's mother cut in. "She's not my sister," Angel shouted. She grabbed a pair of napkins and wiped her face and hair. As she did, she noticed several kids and adults surrounding tables were staring at her. Great. She managed to make a spectacle of herself, even in a room full of maniac kids. She felt her face redden, and she sat down. "Angel," Myron growled, knowing her scathing look, which he reserved exclusively for his stepdaughter these days. He turned to Ophelia. "Come here, my princess." Ophelia, crying hard now, crawled into Myron's lap. "He hit me, Daddy. I was trying to share my pizza." Ophelia raised her arm to Myron's inspection. There was nothing on her arm except pizza sauce, but Myron looked at the poor offended arm and kissed it. Then he turned on Angel. "I didn't hit her," Angel said before she could say anything. "I shoved her hand away." That wasn't technically true, but Angel would get grounded for a year if she admitted to hitting Ophelia. Myron opened his mouth, but he was cut off by one of the animatronic performers on the stage in front of her table. Being the birthday girl, Ophelia had an extra prominent place in the audience for the Fazbear extravaganza show. They were 2 feet from the stage. If Angel had wanted to, he could have reached out and swiped frosting off Ophelia's 5-foot-tall layered cake, and it was sitting on stage, to the side of where the animatronics were going to perform. Angel had been dreading the big show because she knew it would be loud and chaotic, over the top. Now, however, she was grateful for it. It was drawing attention away from the family drama playing out on the table. Ophelia immediately forgot the assault on her precious arm and turned Myron. "Up, Daddy, up!" She dutifully repositioned her on his lap and so she could stand on his thighs. The full skirt of Ophelia's yellow furry dress puffed up into Myron's face. He kept a grip on Ophelia with one hand and shoved aside the tule with the other. Ophelia stared up at the stage with bright eyes. She wiggled her hips and threw her arms around the awkward dance of some kind. Angel hated Ophelia. The kid was a nuisance, always dragging out a board game or begging to play pretend with Angel. She would jump into bed with Angel almost every night with a book and whine of, "Will you read to me?" Sometimes Angel did read to Ophelia, but she resented the time it took. Angel was busy. She didn't have time for her little sister. And then there was the horses. Ophelia had a thing about horses. Her whole room was filled with them. Plush horses, plastic horses, wood horses, posters, photos, and oil paintings of horses. She had a huge rocking horse in her room. And though she was too big for her, she rode it every day. And so did her dolls. That was Ophelia's world. Horses and dolls. It was, in fact, the theme of today's party, too. Angel was so sick of horses, of hearing of them, reading stories about them, being forced to join Ophelia and playing with them. When Ophelia had demanded that her birthday party be at Freddy's, which was, sadly, her favorite restaurant, Angel had pointed out that the party at Freddy's wouldn't be a horse-themed party, which was also what Ophelia wanted. Freddy's didn't have horse characters, but Ophelia wasn't deterred. She wanted what she wanted. Usually, Freddy's parties were Freddy-themed, so Myron had to negotiate with Freddy's manager to bring in special-themed napkins, plates, hats, and decorations. He also had brought every kid in place a horse toy. Angel had heard through pretend neighing today if it'll last a lifetime. "I love my party, Daddy," Ophelia cried out. She grinned, revealing pizza sauce-stained teeth and looking for a world like some kind of cannibal. It wasn't a pretty picture. Not that any picture of Ophelia in it could be pretty. No matter how she dressed her up, Ophelia had truly been an ugly little girl. Poor kid. That was just the only thing that made Angel feel an ounce of kindness toward her. No question, Ophelia was a thorn in Angel's side, but the poor thing couldn't help but how she looked. Just as Angel got her mom's looks, Ophelia got Myron's. For reasons Angel couldn't fathom, her mom thought Myron was a catch, not because of the money. She actually thought he was handsome. Angel thought Myron was a gorilla, tall and trunk-shaped. Myron had dark brown hair all over his body. He was the hairiest man Angel had ever seen. Now, of course, Ophelia didn't inherit that trait from her daddy, but she did get his prominent brow ridge, large nose, and small eyes. She also got his long arms. She looked like a chimpanzee, which was sad. Chimpanzees were cute, but kids who looked like chimpanzees weren't. On the stage in front of Ophelia, Freddy's animatronics were getting ready to perform, and an announcer, a male Freddy's employee wearing a top hat and bright red tuxedo, was shouting away to the crowd. The announcer was young, blonde, round-faced, and perpetually smiling. "Is everyone having a super-duper time?" the announcer asked. "Yes," all the kids shouted. Ophelia screeched her eyes. "Yes," even louder. The sound sent a stab of pain through Angel's temple. "Is everybody ready to have even more fun?" Freddy himself called out. "Yes," the kids scoffed. "Fun, more fun," Ophelia squealed. She wiggled her spastically in her dad's lap. She almost dropped her. "Are you ready to rock and roll?" Freddy shouted. Everyone in the restaurant except Angel yelled, "Yes!" And then the restaurant was filled with cheers. Angel noticed Myron was giving the stepdaughter the evil eye around Ophelia's billowing yellow skirt. Angel didn't care. The restaurant was now far too loud for Myron to chew out Angel. Ignoring her stepdad, Angel left her family at a table and went in search for a restroom she could try and salvage her jeans. And the long rectangular tables in Freddy's were crammed together, and they were all full of hyper little kids and a smattering of wary-looking adults. Angel had to twist his way to work herself free of the unruly pack. When she was almost through the melee, Angel collided one of the Freddy's employees. As she started to say, "Excuse me," he turned toward her. She only got her first word out before she was looking at one of the cutest guys she had ever seen, and he robbed her of the ability to speak. "Sorry," the cute guy said. "I should have been looking where I was going." Angel opened her mouth, but nothing came out. The cute employee grinned at her and started to say something else, but that's when the animatronics on stage started belting out a rock song and ear-shriveling vocals. The singers, combined with the band's heavy on the drums and electric guitar style, made speaking impossible. Angel began to move on, but the cute employee took her hand and led her out of the dining area. She thought it was a little presumptuous, but she didn't protest because the hand was warm and strong, and it was attached to the cute employee. Also, he was pulling her away from the noise and the spastic mayhem, both on the stage and in the audience. Aware of the pizza sauce still in her hair, Angel raised a hand to swipe at her face. She wished she had a mirror so she could clean herself up. If not for the pizza sauce, Angel would have been pretty confident about her appearance. Although her mom hadn't done much for Angel, she had passed on her good genes. Angel had her mother's blonde hair, only Angel's was shorter length, blue eyes, pleasant features, and slender body. Even though she wasn't much for fashion and cosmetics like her mother was, Angel had her own style. She didn't wear a ton of makeup. She simply lined her eyes with coal and kept her lips glossed. She was into retro thrift store clothes, and she was a whiz with scarves and jewelry and other accessories. She liked playing with them so much that she usually kept an extra scarf or strand of beads in her purse so she could change her look when it suited her. Today, she'd done some cool loops with a 70s belt around her narrow waist. Under that, she wore a flimsy 60s peasant top that clung into her just right. If Ophelia hadn't decided to spill sauce over her, Angel would have been fit for a date right now. The cute guy led Angel down the hallway outside the dining room. The hallway, lined with cartoony pictures of Freddy's animatronic characters, ran along the length of the dining area, connecting Freddy's entrance to the back of the restaurant, which presumably was there where the kitchen and offices were. The pictures were framed with bright yellow, and all characters wore happy, jaunty expressions. Few doors opened up in the hallway, including those to the restrooms. Angel's eyed the ladies' room door as they passed it. She wished she could just go in and clean herself up. They were headed, though, toward the front door of the restaurant. Angel wondered if the cute employee was going to try and get her to leave with him, and she just took her in a little waiting area filled with red plastic chairs, which was near the entrance. When they reached the chairs, the cute employee mentioned to them, "Have a seat, I'll be right back." He darted down the hallway, they just come down. Angel wondered, even as her butt would hit the molded plastic, why was she so dutifully doing what the guy wanted? Had he inherited more from her mom than she thought she had? Was she turning into a male-pleasing automaton? Angel couldn't explain why, and she waited in the chair for at least a minute, then, concerned that she was abdicating her entire sense of independent self, Angel started to stand. Why had she let a guy drag her out here in the first place? The cute employee reappeared. She was wearing several paper towels and a spray bottle that looked like water. He sat down in the seat next to hers. Wow, he was cute. Just a little taller than Angel, the guy was broad-shouldered, narrow-hipped, and clearly fit. With dark hair and dark eyes and strong features, she had the kind of looks that pretty much any girl with eyes would find attractive. "I'm Dominic," the cute guy said. He had a wonderful voice, deep and resonant. Angel involuntarily lowered herself back into the chair. "Angel," she said. "Yes, you are." Angel rolled her eyes. Dominic grinned. "Have you heard that one before?" "Of course you have." Angel smiled. She couldn't help it. He was irresistible. "But you made it sound better than anyone else." Dominic laughed. "Now there's a good line. I should take lessons from you." Angel laughed. "No, that's a terrible idea. I just sort of blurt out whatever I'm thinking. That's not always the best thing." "I disagree. Honesty is highly underrated." A group of giggling little girls burst out of the dining room, ran down the hallway, and poured into the ladies' room, like a swarm of frilly, pink-clad bees. Angel was glad that she wasn't in the ladies' room. She turned back to Dominic and figured she might as well see where this encounter went. "Thank you for saving me." "Did I? I was just doing my job. I'm an assistant manager here, and one of my duties is make sure the customers are happy. I saw a pretty girl smeared with pizza sauce and figured she'd be happy if it was cleaned up." He raised a spray bottle and paper towels. Dominic reached out and touched Angel's pizza sauce-crusted hair. "Not that you don't totally rock this Italian food in the hair look." Angel laughed. Dominic leaned toward her. Angel held her breath. "Do you mind?" Dominic said. "I don't think pizza sauce is a good conditioner, and the hair color, well, this particular shade of red doesn't match the rest of your hair." Angel said nothing. She was trying to remember what she last ate. She hadn't eaten any of the pizza her mom and Myron ordered, but she did have some chocolate candy. Well, that shouldn't have given her bad breath. Dominic was dapping at her hair and skin of her jaw and neck. With paper towels, she sprayed with whatever was in the plastic bottle. Whatever, it smelled flowery, and it was warm. It felt soothing against the skin of her jaw and her ear. He was just being so gentle. Who was this guy? It seemed like he came from an entirely different planet than the guys at her school. They were oafs by comparison. None of the guys she knew at her school would know how to clean pizza sauce out of hair. Okay, that's better," Dominic said. He tucked in a strand of her hair behind her, and then looked down at her jeans. He held out more of the wet towels. "Think you can handle the rest?" "I don't want to be disrespectful." Angel laughed and took the towels. "I appreciate that." She worked the stain on her jeans. The deep red faded a little, but didn't disappear. She hoped it didn't come out in the wash. "So I assume you're here with your family?" Dominic said, once Angel was cleaned up. "Yeah, sort of. My stepsister is the birthday girl." "Ah, so I did save you. Does she make you clean the fireplace and scrub the floor too, Cinderella?" "She would if she was old enough to care about that stuff. For now, her daddy, my stepdad, is one on my case." Yeah, that can suck." "Yes, it can. I haven't seen you before." "What school do you go to?" "I'm graduating from Marymount in a month." "You?" "Same, graduating in a month, but from Graves Academy." "Ooh, snazzy." Graves Academy was a private school for brainiacs. Angel was impressed in spite of herself. "Yeah, right." Dominic gestured at Freddy's vest and name tag. "I know I make this Freddy thing look good, but you should see me in my school uniform. It would knock your socks off." Angel looked down at her sandal-clad feet. So did Dominic. "See," Dominic said, "even thinking about me in my uniform knocked your socks off." Angel laughed even as she groaned. Dominic smiled. "So, did you end up wearing our pizza instead of eating it? Please tell me the server didn't get this sloppy." "No, not a server. Ophelia." Dominic raised an eyebrow. "Hamlet helpless lover?" "Yeah, right, see? I was just thinking about that. Why would you name a child Ophelia? I guess it's a pretty name, but it has some heavy connotation, and Ophelia is my stepsister." "Ah, the wicked stepsister. Out, damned spot." Angel laughed. "I think you're suffering from Shakespearean confusion. Sometimes wicked as the way comes, Dominic said. Angel laughed harder. Better sentiment, but you're still in the wrong play. Oh, well, this above all, to thine own self be true. Ding, 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 give a man a prize, Angel said. He made his way back to Hamlet. And they both laughed, and then they both spoke once. Angel said, thank you for, just as Dominic said, listen, how about, they both stopped and grinned. Before either could finish a sentence, a woman's voice called out, Dominic, Angel and Dominic turned toward the voice. Another Freddy's employee, a 30-something woman, stood just outside the dining room. There you are, she said. The woman was all tall, athletic-looking, with brown hair caught up in a ponytail. She wore Freddy's uniform and looked perfectly calm in spite of her chaos swirling around her. Dominic stood. Hey, Nancy, I'm coming. Meet me in the kitchen, Nancy said. Dominic turned and held out his hand. Angel took it. She was happy to have a chance to hold his hand again. I'm sorry to abandon you all to all this. He waved his arms out. And your evil stepsister, too. But duty calls. No problem. He smiled at her. Before my boss rudely interrupted, I was about to ask if you might like to go out tomorrow night. There's an indie band playing in the Rocket House. Would you be game? Sure, I'd like that. Great. If you give me your number, I can pick you up. If you don't want me to give me your number, you can meet me there. Angel rattled off her home phone number. Dominic laughed. Okay then, he repeated the number back to her. She nodded. You won't forget it? She asked. When he didn't write it down, he just wanted to kick herself because she sounded like a nag. They didn't seem to mind. I have a great memory. I won't forget it. Or you. Angel blushed. Dominic reached into a pocket of a uniform vest, and there, here's my Freddy's card. You can always call me. Angel took out the card and stuck it in her jeans pocket. Well, you don't have to call me, Dominic said. I'll beat you to it. I'm going to be working here late tonight, lots of cleanup to do, and then prep for another party tomorrow. I'll call you later this evening, set up time, Dominic said. Angel nodded. Are you heading back in? Dominic asked her. She shrugged and nodded. I guess I have to. Dominic laughed and offered his arm. Then may I escort you to the pandemonium, milady? Angel laughed and took his arm. You may, Prince Charming. Dominic chuckled and led her back into the dining room. He squeezed her hand briefly before letting her go into the doorway. Until later, he said. She nodded. Well, that was a ton of fun to read. Yeah. So, Huh. Well, that's odd. Hold on a moment. Beep boop beep boop 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 bop beep boop beep beep boop beep beep. Sorry, new thing. Yep, alright, perfect. Alright, just gotta make that. I didn't have this set up beforehand. Oopsie, I normally do. Today we read pages 1 to 20 of oh man, I'm messing up all the time. 1 of 20 of the Gumdrop Garden, or Gumdrop Angel, which I guess is a play on words. However you want to split it, you dig it, yeah. And next time we'll be reading page 21 to 40. There, simple as that. That's kind of fighting the background, ain't it? Oh, hold on. Let me. No, wait, I'm over there. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, just make it that small, and then just make this one a little smaller, and then put it here. That still kind of fights the back. Ooh, I know. Outline. I should do this off camera. 1 bajillion. Oh no, it's the Gumdrop Angel now. Okay, there, and then there, and then beautiful. And then we could just do the same thing to that one, and just what? Oh, there we go. And then that, and then just set it to black as night. I want to meet the sun. All right. Yeah, now it's looking really good. All right, cool. But yeah. I want to thank y'all so much for watching today's episode. I also have a weird new thing I'm trying to do where I'm making the Learning Corner its own episodes. I mean, I'm literally recording it right after this anyway, so, guaranteed video. But I'm gonna try to separate the two, see if that works, and make them both their own content. But I promise you I'm recording them at the same time. So, yeah. Super fantastic, wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!